Good morning, children. Today we will study about the conductance of electrolytic solutions. The electrolytes are those substances which can conduct electricity. We have studied in class 11. Electrolytes are classified as strong and weak electrolytes. The strong electrolytes are 100% ionized in the solution, and the weak electrolytes are partially ionized. Now the conductance of an electrolyte is the ease with which the current flows through the electrolyte. It is the reciprocal of the resistance of electrolyte as is denoted by capital C. The conductance of an electrolyte is the ease or the way by which the current flows through the electrolyte. We study about the resistance. Resistance of the solution is that which affect the flow of electrical conductance. So for the conductance, we measure the resistance of the electrolyte, and then we do the reciprocal of it, and then we will get the conductance of the solution. Now we will see the conductance. C is equal to 1 upon R, where R is the resistance. So we can say the conductance is reciprocal of the resistance. The units of conductance. Unit for resistance, you know, that is the ohm. For conductors, for the conductance, it is reciprocal of ohm, that is ohm inverse, or mho, MHO. So conductance is also denoted by Siemens according to SI system, and it is represented by capital S. So we can write the unit for the conductance. So conductance is the reciprocal of resistance, and the resistance at the unit is ohm. So for the conductance, the unit is ohm inverse. So see, this is the unit for the conductance. Now we will study the specific resistance. The resistance of a conductor or electrolyte is directly proportional to the length and inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So we can write R is directly proportional to L, and it is inversely proportional to cross sectional area, that is A. So we can write R is directly proportional to L upon A, or we can write R is equal to rho into L upon A, where R is called as specific resistance. So we can write rho is equal to R into A upon L. Rho is known as specific resistance or as resistivity. Its units are ohm into centimeter square for the area, and for the length is centimeter, then its unit will be ohm centimeter. The SI unit of resistivity is ohm meter inverse. So the L upon A is called a cell constant. L is the length of the conductor, or this is the distance between the two electrodes in the conductivity cell, and A is the cross-sectional area of the conductor. So when we make an electrochemical cell and we are using the two electrodes there, so the distance between the two electrodes is L, and the cross-sectional area of electrode is L. The rho is called as specific resistance. That is equal to R into L upon A. We can also write specific resistance is equal to resistance upon cell constant. For now, we'll see specific conductance or conductivity. The reciprocal of specific resistance is known as specific conductance or conductivity. It is denoted by K, small k, that is also called as kappa. The specific conductivity is equal to 1 upon rho. So we can write this is equal to 1 upon R into L upon A. Then we can write conductance, 1 upon R is conductance into L upon A, which is called a cell constant. So we can also write a specific conductance is equal to conductance into cell constant. In case of electrolyte, it is also known as cell constant. Specific conductance K is equal to conductance into cell constant. So when the resistance is provided and then the cell constant is given, then we can find out the K, that is the conductivity of the cell. Now we define the specific conductance. Specific conductance may be defined as the conductance of the solution of an electrolyte enclosed in a cell with 2 electrodes of unit area of cross section separated by 1 centimeter, or it is the conductance of 1 centimeter cube of the solution of an electrolyte. So we can define this as a specific conductance. I am repeating. Specific conductance may be defined as the conductance of the solution of an electrolyte enclosed in a cell with the 2 electrodes of unit area, that is cross-sectional area of the electrode is 1 centimeter square, and the distance between the 2 electrode is 1 centimeter. Then it is called as specific conductance, that is the reciprocal of rho. Just children, now we'll see the factors which affect the electrolytic conductance. Now you know about the electrolytes. Electrolytes are those substances which can conduct electricity, or the solution which can conduct electricity are called as electrolytes. Now the first factor is the nature of electrolyte, that is also called as interionic attraction. So when we dissolve an electrolyte in the water, then it is having solute versus solute interaction. And these interactions are called as interionic attraction. Now these attractions, because the ionic electrolytes are having positive as well as negative charged ions. Now these are having some attraction forces between them, among them, and due to the presence of these interionic attraction, there is the variation in the electrical conductance. Stronger the interionic attraction, lesser will be the conductance, or the mobility of ion will be affected. So the first factor is the nature of electrolyte. That means when the interionic attraction increases, there will be decrease in the electrolytic conductance and vice versa. Because these interionic attractions decrease the mobility of ion, that's why there is decrease in the electrical conductance. Now the second point is the solvation of ion. When we dissolve an electrolyte into water, then we can take the example of sodium chloride. Sodium ion is positively charged, then in the solution it will be surrounded by the water molecule. These are the water molecules. So when we dissolve sodium chloride into water, the ion sodium ion will be surrounded by the water molecule, which is called a solvation. When ions are surrounded by the solvent molecule, then this process is called as solvation. So when electrolyte is dissolved into water, this type of solvation occurs, and then it is having a cluster of ions. So when the ions start moving, this whole cluster will move, and due to solvation, the mobility of the ion decreases. So there is decrease in the electrolytic conductance. So the electrolytic conductance affected by the solvation of ions. So we can take the same with the chloride ion. Chloride ion is negatively charged. So again it will be surrounded by the water molecule, but here the hydrogen will be towards the chloride ion. So these ions are surrounded by the solvent molecule, so it is called the solvation of ion. So due to the solvation of ion, there is decrease in the electrolytic conductance because these ions will move with the whole cluster. Now third point is the nature of solvent and its viscosity. Nature of solvent is solvent versus solvent interactions. So if the nature of solvent or it is having the higher viscosity, the solvent versus solvent interactions are more viscous, then it will affect the mobility of ion. Due to increase in the viscosity of the solvent, the mobility of ion decreases, so there is decrease in the electrolytic conductance. Due to the viscosity of ion, you can compare the viscosity with the crowded road. If the road is crowded, then your mobility will decrease. So in the similar way, we can consider when there is a higher viscosity of the solvent, then the mobility of ion will decrease, and that's why there is decrease in the electrolytic conductance. So this is on the basis of the nature of solvent and its viscosity. Now the fourth point is the temperature. Now the temperature is also one of the factors that changes the mobility of ion. If we increase the temperature, then normally the mobility of ion will increase. So there is increase in the electrolytic conductance. As the temperature increases, there is decrease in the intronic attraction. There is decrease in the viscosity, there is a decrease in the solvation of ion, and that's why the mobility of the ion increases. So with increase in the temperature, the electrolytic conductance increases. Now the measurement of the electrical conductance. Electrical conductance cannot measure directly. We measure the resistance, and then we find out the reciprocal of resistance to find out the conductance of the solution. Now K, this is kappa, that is called as conductivity, R is the resistance, and L upon A is called as steady constant. The resistance is measured by using the Wheatstone bridge that you will study in the physics also, but here we will find out the conductivity of an electrolytic cell. Now this is the diagram for the Wheatstone bridge, and in this Wheatstone bridge there are the two resistance R3, R4, R1 and R2. Now at the R2 I put the conductivity cell. R1 is the variable resistance, and the R3 and R4 are the fixed resistance. They are definite. So these two are the constant resistance. R1 is the variable resistance and R2 is the conductivity cell. So we arrange them in this way, and then we find out when the cell, this is a detector, then when the no current is flowing by using this variable resistance R1 we will see whether the current is flowing in the circuit or not. When there is no flow of current or the zero value here, then we find out this relationship. This is R1 upon R2 is equal to R3 upon R4. So this R2 is equal to R1 into R4 upon R3. So while measuring this resistance R2, for measuring this as R2, we have to find out R1 then that is a variable that we are fixing, and these two are fixed, so we can find out the conductance of the solution. Then we do the C is equal to 1 upon R. So we can find out the conductance of the solution.